amendment would put gay rights into the U.S. Constitution. It would implement the guarantee of marriage licenses to homosexuals and generally implement the gay rights and lesbian agenda because of the praise on account of sex. Equal rights amendment will make provisions to prevent gay rights being used to mandate for abortion funding. Equal rights amendment will put abortion rights into the U.S. Constitution and make abortion funding a new constitutional right. It won't be the women's rights and only. It will be also men's choice. Under this amendment, the states would require to medically fund abortions for women just as they would medically fund men. If the U.S. federal government enacted the Equal Rights Amendment, then it would lead to more abortions because women will use this amendment as a way to get legal abortion. Equal Rights Amendment will jeopardize single-sex programs and schools. It would force sex interactions such as fraternities and programs like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. And about sports, well, football is a rough sport which involves physical contact, and well, anatomically, women are different than men, and this kind of sport will harm their anatomy features. There are some sports that involve women, like flag football, that they can play according to their physical strength, and also as girls soccer, girls basketball, girls tennis. And if we have equal rights, then women and men will be playing in the same game, and they have different kind of strength, and a woman will be hurt more than a man, and it will be equal. Equal rights amendment would make unconstitutional the laws to impose on husbands the obligations to support their wife. They would, if they had like a divorce, they will be equally treated like in a divorce and in legal aspect. Equal rights amendment is bad for America and it's bad for our Constitution. Equal rights amendment has been rejected since 1972 because it's a confusing proposal. It leads to misinterpretation and it's not clear. And as we said before, we already have equal rights on our Constitution.
So, I believe and I know we won because not only, besides the obvious reasons, because we already have an equal rights. We already have equal rights. Like, yeah, like, like they said, like we need an extra amendment. Well, I know in 1954 there was a case called Brown versus Board of Education, and it was passed in 1954. It said that schools should not be segregated anymore, and what happened? Did schools just unite blacks with whites that same day it was ratified? No, it wasn't until 2 years later that the little black girl was taken to the school and put into the school. So you have to make sure you enforce the laws you already have before you want any more laws being passed. You make sure the Constitution is being followed because it says, oh, we all are equal. So if you, instead of creating more laws, just make sure the ones that we already have are enforced. So yeah, passing any more laws will not make it any better. What you are saying about women not having the same opportunities, that's just racism, and that you, by passing a law, you won't stop racism or discrimination against women or blacks. I mean, if I'm an employer who doesn't like Mexican people, just like we all are, except Fletcher.
Qué racista, güey.
I'm Mexican. I mean, what would, if I'm a racist against my own people, would we're not talking about teachers. Do you think if I'm racist against Mexicans, what would prevent me? Would a simple law being passed, an amendment, prevent me from picking him out of all of you? No, it wouldn't. I would just do it and nobody would have the right to question anything. So another amendment would not help. That proves it. And yeah, the fact that women today have successfully championed their rights in society and in the courts since 1989 is a testimony to the sufficiency of the current Constitution guarantee those rights. Attempts to prove that the equal rights movement clutters the Constitution with redundancy and confusion, takes local and state control away from people, threatens religious and private institutions, and opens the door for anti-family activists, including homosexuals and abortionists. The Constitution lays the framework from which the laws of our federal union are derived. Changes to it should be resisted at every point while demanding that it pass every stringent test device until it is clear beyond all reasonable doubt that the law justice cannot exist without it. So the Equal Rights Amendment does not pass the simplest test to justify its acceptance. The simple fact that it's not even passed, it's a way for us to know that it's not right. So if there has been so many years, they have been debating on it for so many years, what makes us think it's right? If they would have been right, they would have ratified it the first time they talked about it, but no, it's not ratified. So yeah, that's it, friends.
Woo!